Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Naimah Altidore. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't ever miss an upload from me. So today's gonna be a fun video because it's food. I mean, I love to cook, I love to eat. I love to eat, and these are going to be 3 easy, simple recipes that your family is going to love because my family loved them, and I am sure that your family is going to love them as well. So for breakfast, we're going to be making banana pancakes, and they're great for kids. They're sugar-free, and it's like 4 or 5 ingredients, so it is perfect, simple, and also quick. So for lunch, we are going to be making spaghetti. It is so good, and we're going to be making a ground beef sauce, and it is absolutely delicious. We're going to sneak in the vegetables in there for the kids. It's going to be so yummy. They're not even going to notice it at all because it's that delicious. And for dinner, we are going to have rosemary chicken with white rice and broccoli, steamed broccoli. The flavor is so yummy. You guys are going to love everything. So let's get started. First, we are going to, of course, start with our breakfast. We have our ingredients here for our banana pancakes. All you're going to need is 2 bananas. Try to have it as ripe as possible. We are going to be mashing the heck out of this, so the more ripe, the better. And then you're going to need 2 eggs, whole wheat flour, baking soda, salt, and oil spray. But for me, I like to use good old-fashioned butter, or you can use oil spray depending on your preference. So let's go ahead and put this right here and start with our bananas. I'm just gonna mash this. Who needs a gym when you can just make banana pancakes at home and work out your arm muscles at the same time? So we went ahead and add a 1/2 cup of whole wheat flour. Give this a good mix before we add our next ingredient, which is going to be almond milk, which I simply forgot to mention at the beginning, but that is okay. Give this a good mix. I like to mix it after each ingredient goes in. We're going to add a 1/4 cup of almond milk, or you can use whole milk, doesn't matter. I have both in the fridge. I love me some almond milk, so let's go ahead and add the almond milk. So 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And then we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of good old salt. Oh, this is the top part. There we go. Just sprinkle that everywhere. We're gonna evenly mix it so it's fine. I just have this habit of just sprinkling it everywhere. I don't know why, but it's just a habit, I guess. All right, so let's give that a good stir. Aside it from being sugar-free, the other thing I love about this recipe is you pretty much do everything in one bowl. Less cleaning, less washing, which is good enough for me. So let's continue to give that a good mix. Now this looks perfect. Nice consistency. And you're supposed to let it cook. And then once it turns brown on one side, and then you flip it. This is whole wheat flour, so once it starts to brown on one side and you see the bubbles on the top, you definitely want to go ahead and start flipping it. So now we are going to be making our scrambled eggs, which is so easy. I went ahead and added butter already. I'm gonna add a little bit of chicken bouillon, which I wanna say like a quarter of it. And I am also going to add some onion and garlic powder. I like to make sure that the chicken bouillon melt in the butter. So now we're going to add some onion powder, not much, and also some garlic powder. Now you can add this after or before, it doesn't matter. But I definitely like to add the chicken bouillon before. So we're gonna crack maybe about 6 to 7 eggs. Have my bowl here. Plus 3, 4. If my son was here, the first thing he would ask is, "Let me help you, mommy, let me help you. I want to crack the egg. I want to crack one." So how many do we have here? We have 2, 4, 6. I think that's about good. That should be good. So we are going to be making our spaghetti. We are using fettuccine, which I absolutely love. And then we're going to make our ground beef sauce, which is going to have a ton of vegetables in it. And the kids are not even going to notice because it's going to be that delicious. So right now I just added oil. And also I'm going to add salt for flavor, and the oil I just use for it to not stick. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more of fettuccine because I do like leftovers. Okay, so now we're going to be making the ground beef sauce. I like to use a 93% lean and a 7% fat. And usually I go for this brand. You can use any brand, but that's the one I usually go for. So I went ahead and put in a little bit of canola oil, just a tad bit. And then you're going to squeeze the ground beef out. I like to get as much out as possible. There we go. So right now I'm going to be adding a piece, which is pretty much a bunch of herbs. It has garlic, green onion, tomato, a lot of good stuff in here. So So I'm just going to be adding some of that in here. Just add a little bit more. Actually, let's add the rest because as you can see, we're all out of it. So now we're going to add the garlic, thyme, red pepper, orange peppers, green peppers and green onions, and now the yellow peppers. And all this is sweet peppers. And just throw all of that in there. Hold on. And give it a good mix. Put up the temperature. And also we're going to add in some chicken bouillon, which is going to enhance the flavor. Right now you can leave it as is because the flavor is perfect, but I personally like a little bit more flavor, so I'm going to add a little bit more of chicken bouillon. Not much, just probably maybe like a quarter of it. And then I'm going to add in some Italian style herb. Just sprinkle some around, just like so. And also onion powder. Not much because we are going to add more of the garlic powder, which I like a lot more. So we're just gonna sprinkle just like that. So now that we added our extra spices, so you're just gonna let it simmer for about 10 minutes and the sauce is going to get a little thick but not too thick. You guys are going to love it. So I'm going to try this one and it looks good. It smells really good. And the kids is going to love it. It has ground beef, and the perfect thing about this meal is, I mean, who doesn't love spaghetti, right? However, the perfect thing about this meal is it has the vegetables, which is hitting inside, and the kids is going to love it because they're going to love the flavor, and it's so yummy. This is on point. We are going to start with this chicken thigh, and it's pretty much a dry rub. The amazing part about it is that there's nothing to chop. You just pretty much adding all your spices and then popping it in the oven, and then that's it. So here I have my chicken thighs. It's already prepped. I went ahead and removed as much fat as possible because I like as much fat as possible off my chicken. This particular dish is always a hit at the barbecues. First, we're going to start with our rosemary. We're going to add our chili powder. And if I'm not putting enough, I am going to also go back to add a little bit more of what I think is going to be needed. We added the garlic. So we have rosemary, chili, garlic, cumin, oregano, and also brown mustard, salt, Creole seasoning, black pepper, and our canola oil. So let's go ahead and add the cumin. This is gonna be so yummy. I can smell it already. And the oregano. Now I am going to add a lot more of the ground mustard. So we're gonna add a little bit of salt, and you might wanna just add a tiny bit of salt because we are going to add our Creole seasoning, which already has salt. So you don't wanna go overboard with the salt. And also black pepper, which is optional. I'm gonna add a little bit, and I'm gonna add a little bit because the kids are going to be eating this and I don't wanna make it too spicy. And our canola oil. And we're just gonna give this a good stir. You wanna make sure all the spices is nicely mixed and you want it to be evenly coated. And it smells amazing. It is so delicious. I promise you, your family is going to ask for more. It is that good. And you can use it on any meat. Fish, wings, salmon, just pretty much on anything. So what I like to do sometimes is add a little butter. Not much. I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little butter to this. We don't want it to burn or dry out. So we're just adding a little butter, not much. It was less than a quarter teaspoon. Now that we have this nicely coated, we're going to add our meat. This is absolutely so yummy, guys. I promise you. We're just adding this in here. Maybe I should put it this way so you guys can see better. And it is so evenly coated. It smells so good. It smells absolutely amazing. So this is it, guys. It smells absolutely delicious. It looks delicious and it's going to taste amazing once it's done. Now that our chicken is completely done, we are going to set the oven to 350 degrees and it's going to bake for 30 to 45 minutes depending on the amount of chicken that you have. So let's go ahead and pop it in the oven. Come on. So we preheat the oven and now we're going to add this bad boy in. So now that we have that going, I am going to start on the rice. It's going to be regular white rice. And I am going to be using a rice cooker. Oh my gosh. This is a lifesaver because before I used to use a regular pot. This is what I used to use before I got introduced to a rice cooker. And this is amazing. If you don't have a rice cooker, please get one. It is a lifesaver. It's so much easier. And the thing I like about rice cookers is it cooks a lot quicker versus a regular pot. So now that we have our 3 cups of rice, I'm going to rinse it. So now that we're done giving the rice a good wash, we are going to chop our green onion, which I already pre-washed. So for the rice, all you're going to need is, of course, rice, green onion, scotch bonnet, butter, salt, and some oil. Okay, so now we are going to add some oil. As you can see, this is almost finished. Actually, it's pretty much done. So I went ahead and grabbed a fresh one. I was trying to use the last bit of it, as you can see. I'm just going to add a little bit, not much. That is because I'm going to add a little bit of butter as well. I mean, this is completely optional. You can add butter or oil. So I like to do a little bit of each. I know, to me it just gives it that a little bit of buttery flavor, but not much. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add my green onions. You don't have to cut this up. It is completely optional. So I'm gonna go ahead and let the green onion cook for about a minute before adding the rice. It smells absolutely amazing. So now I am going to add the rice. Now I did add 3 cups of rice, so I'm going to fill it all the way up to the number 3. Water, let's add the rest of the rice. So we're just gonna add the Scotch bonnet and also salt for flavor. Let's give that a good stir. So now that is cooking, and then let's check on our meat because it smells amazing. Let's unlock this because we do have the child lock on it, just in case for the kids. Ooh. Ooh, it looks so good. All right, let's go ahead and let that finish cooking. So it's been 25 minutes, so let's go ahead and take this out. It looks so good and it smells so good. Let's pull this bad boy. I don't want to burn myself. That looks so good. Now, how nice is this oven? Remember, if you've seen how this oven used to look, oh my gosh, it looks so nice. Now I can bake in it and it looks so nice. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and give this a good stir with a fork. It is so juicy. I'm definitely going to give this a try. And I like all that juice that came out of it. Oh yes, come to mama, come to mama. A little drip, gotta get that too. This is so good. Oh wow, this is really good. And now we're going to move on and do our steamed broccoli. You have to have vegetables. I mean, the kids are going to eat this, so I want to incorporate some kind of vegetables in it. Now for our steamed broccoli, I'm going to just put it in medium. I'm just going to put it on medium. I'm just going to add some butter. I love butter. Some butter. I'm just gonna set this right here, it's no biggie. And then sprinkle some onion powder. I mean, this has to have flavor, right? I mean, every food has to have some kind of flavor. I mean, for me at least. And some garlic powder. And I'm going to cut a little bit of, probably like a quarter of the chicken bouillon. And I'm just going to give that a quick stir. I want to add a little bit of water to this, just a tiny bit. I mean, like tiniest bit of water. So I'm going to use this. Maybe a teaspoon of water. There we go. I didn't add all of it, and I'm going to give this another quick mix because I want to keep mixing it because it does have chicken bouillon and I want that to melt. Alrighty. This is like easy. I mean, as you stirring it, it's done already. So let's go ahead and turn this burner off. There we go. So I hope you guys try all 3 recipes. Let me know in the comments below or in any future videos. Let me know if you tried all 3 recipes and they are all delicious. You are going to love it. Your family is going to love it. And if you stay to the end, thank you so much. And if you are new here, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't ever miss an upload from me. And I thank every single one of you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.